All right, hi guys. We're in week 9 of the course, and this is it. It's time you guys start creating your own idea. So after we finish week 8, starting next Tuesday, we'll be starting to create what we call um, a 3D layout of the scene in Maya. So before actually you do this, I highly suggest in each Moodle page, there is a previous resources. So if you open this PDF, it's actually a link to a PDF. And I already sent this out in 2 miles, so please do this step before you start doing anything in Maya. Even though you have an idea, but write it down on a one pager, send it to me if you need feedback, and split it up into 3 acts. Act 1, beginning, where's the location, who's the characters in the scene, and you can start to introduce the problem in Act 1. Okay, and then in Act 2, there's supposed to be a problem, so the problem intensifies, and we see a bit more of the characters, how they are reacting to the problem. And in Act 3 is the resolution, if you could choose a happy ending or a sad ending. Somebody gets married or somebody dies in the in the film. So we're looking about 30 to 60 second. Try to go for more 60 second because this is what the third year you'll be doing. You'll be doing a 1-minute film. In the PDF, there's also good links to character development and story character breakdown. They will help you. They're just bullet points. So please check them out, and please do the one pager before you start the 3D layout. In the PDF, there's also other sources. There's this channel called Bird Box. They have these really cool small shorts if you want to get inspired. And let's look at this one. It's a 1-minute film, so anyways, you get the idea. There's some really cool shorts here, really short films. So if you want to get inspired, there's other ones too in the list. So check them out, and other resources for characters and whatnot. You're thinking to yourself, what is a 3D layout? If the other classes didn't cover this already, I found a good video we can watch together. The title is "What the heck is a CG layout?" CG layout is a 3D layout, basically. So let's watch this together. You get a better idea of what it is.
A scene for the upcoming company play called Put That Thing Back Where It Came From, or So Help Me. It's a musical. Yeah, put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. So help me, and cut.
What the heck is...
So just to pause here, they start with a storyboard. This is optional. You don't have to do it. What I'm asking you to do is this part, the layout. So if you look at what's going on the right side, you'll understand
Put that thing back where it came from,
what you
or
need to
so help
do
me.
for this assignment.
It's a musical.
So it's
Put that
basically
thing
the
back where it came from,
characters
or so help me. So help me. So
in
help me.
idle and just moving about
What the
really
heck is
rough
CG
in the
layout?
scene. This is a
CG
bit
layout
more
is the
than a
art of
layout.
staging an
It's
animated scene
almost
in
blocking.
relationship to the camera.
Back to the pot patch, flower boy.
No thanks. I'm headed for the finish
Probably
line.
they went a
You
bit
can follow
further
me.
because there's a lot of action scenes here.
In the olden days, before computers and the invention of virtual space, layout was a 2D art form. The layout artist drew a background
So
picture
do watch
and
this,
designed how the
please.
characters would fit into
But
it.
what you're gonna come
This
out
kind of layout
from
is now
it
called
is
traditional.
the,
Looks like you threw up on
I guess,
them.
3
Keep
or
your
4
hands on
important
Ozzy.
things
The invention
is
of virtual reality, layout
all your
evolved
characters
to
are in
become a 3D
the
discipline,
CG layout,
adopting
your
the
environment.
traditions and techniques
Props is
of
not
live-action
necessary.
filmmakers.
We can
From
do a
clean
rudimentary like shape of the prop
Layout deals
to
with
get
the
an
most
idea.
fundamental questions of filmmaking.
And the last thing is
Where do I
camera.
put the
Camera
camera?
is the most
What lens
important
should I
thing in
use?
the layout
Where do
because
the
it
actors
will
stand and
determine
how should
where
they
the
move?
camera is, what type of camera you're using,
Before layout work can get
and
underway, the
in
first thing you need,
relation
of course,
to what
is
the
a story.
characters are doing with the camera.
You
inside
also
the
need
camera
some
shots.
characters,
Okay.
and they need to be rigged so,
So,
that they can be posed and animated. You need a set.
Watch this.
some
Watch
props,
it. Please watch
and all
this.
the
It's
things
really
that the
good.
story
Gives you an
says are in
idea
the scene.
what you should consider.
Typically,
for
you also have
this, CG
storyboards,
layout.
or
Okay.
better yet,
So I'm gonna on my side. I'm gonna use the week 7 small film that I did. I know it's not 30 seconds or more, but I really don't have time to create a film. So in the 1 hour limit of the video lesson. But what I need from you is your full film from A to Z with the camera, with the characters and the environment. And so I'll recreate what I'm expecting from you in this. So I'm gonna save this scene in, I believe I switched to D. So we'll call it week 9, I believe. It's after the protocol. Let me double check. Yeah, week 9. And I will call this layout. Okay. So I'm gonna be deleting all the character animations because I'm just gonna post them I'll post them either in T-pose or just the arms down, right? So I don't need more than this for the CG layout. Optional if you wanna create a bit more. It's really optional, but it's up to you. If you want to create a couple of poses here and there, it's really up to you. Okay, so full body, I'm going to create just a T-pose. I'll delete all the keys. So now we end up with just a T-pose. So I'll change my source to from control rig. Actually, no, I'll just put this guy on. So now he's gonna go to the T-pose. Okay, I'll just put the arms down. And now I can translate him right in the scene. So if I choose the hips, please, for those of you who have been moving the root bone, please do not move the root bone anymore. This is super important. If you want to offset your character, you need to do it on the control rig, on the pelvis. Do not move the root anymore because you're gonna get problems in Unreal. Okay, please don't move it anymore. So the reason his feet are staying is they're pinned, so we can remove the pinning. Make sure you're in full body, and then we can start moving. All right, we'll do the same for the ninja. Full body and delete. I'll do the opposite so we can get the sword in his back. All right. T-pose. Oh, wait. How come it didn't go to? It's fine. We'll keep him there. And then we put the arms down. Okay. And same thing, we remove the pinning on the legs. That's fine, we don't need the sword. Oh, it was just an update. A refresh problem. Okay, did I stop the video? Is still running? Yeah, I stopped it. Okay, so first step, please make sure the resolution is good. Resolution. That would be in rendering, render settings. Make sure it's 1920 by 1080. That's HD. HD 1080p. And your cameras. I'm gonna keep the cameras. I'm gonna delete the master cam because we don't need it right now. We'll redo it. We'll redo it after. So camera one. I'll switch here to see what the camera one is looking at. So it's basically a pan down. So what I need in this assignment from you as well, if you will not send me a one-pager of your Act 1, 2, and 3, I need that information in the camera. Okay, so how do we do this? We do it through text. Okay. We do it through text. How do we add text? Is if you're in the poly modeling tab, we just create a text. It will show up somewhere here. So what we need to do, we need to parent the text to the camera because I want to see what the camera, sorry, what the, let me dock this, hopefully it docks properly. Okay, good. So I want to be able to see what the camera is looking at and what the camera and what's going on screen, because it's really hard to determine that with just the character sliding on screen. I want to read what's going on so I can give you feedback if everything is going to flow in the 3D layout. Okay, so that's the extra thing I'm asking you for this is text. If you're not going to send me the one-pager, I need to know what's going on in the shot. Okay, so press and hold V and just snap it to the cam, and we zoom in a little bit. So we see what's going on. So text, this is the default one. If you go in type, if you in attributes editor, you have a bunch of settings here. Okay, most of the work you'll be doing is in the type tab. So I don't know what the focus does. It's okay. It's in the type tab. You don't need that many polygons. You can make the text super light because you'll be creating multiple ones, one for each camera. Okay, so we'll need one per camera. So you can play with the size here, but the first thing we need to do is minimize the amount of polygons. So if you go in geometry and disable extrusion, enable extrusion, disable it, so it will be just flat. Okay. So now what we can do is we can parent it to the camera so we see a little bit of what's going on. Okay. So we can align it. Channel box. Put some good rotation in there. Maybe 0. No, 40. Well, let's see if we can get to -23. Will that work? Yeah. Okay, so we can squeeze that down either by, don't scale it. I would just do it in the font size. Just bring that down and maybe 0.5. And then move it in frame. So try to move the object in local, in object. Sorry, the text in object pivot, so you guys can see a little bit better. You can change the color in if you want, and type blend. You can change it to black. And then if it's not changing, you can just bring down the specular, I believe. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Okay, so what do we want to say here? We want to say camera pans down. And shows night training with sword. So we're running out of space. You could just bring it, tab it or enter and bring it down. Okay, and could do it like this. You can, if you think it's a little bit too big, you can scale it up and down, but that's a good size. It's almost like subtitles. So what do we do now? The problem is if we start moving the camera, the text is gonna stay. So we just need to parent it to the camera. Okay, so always parenting child, and then select the parent, and then press P. Be careful with this, please, in the future. If you decide to keep the same cameras for the next step, week 10, which is all your film in Maya, you have to delete the text because you might get into trouble with the camera sequencer if the cameras are linked to something. Okay, so just remember that tip. Please delete the text if you want to keep the same cameras. You should, because they're the layout, but so just to the text. So now if we press play, there we go. I understand what's going on. Okay. It's a little dark, so I might just go with white. What? Where did my bling go? Oh my god. Type 1. I lost my blend. The material. Okay. Is it because I linked it? It's possible. Well, you can assign a material to it, I guess. Is it still selected? Nope. So outliner. Try to remember maybe just to match camera 1 or whatever you're gonna use, naming shot 1 or shot 1A, shot 1B. Try to keep the text name correspondence to the camera. So assign material to viewport selection. Now we can go with white. Is it specular? That's a little bit better. I'm not too big on materials. You can play with these to get a better font, okay? Better color on the text so we can see it. Okay, camera pans down, it shows the night training with the sword. So now we can animate the night, right? We start somewhere in here. So we go down, we'll probably see him right here. Make him face the right way at least. And we see him a little bit, and as the camera settles in, he starts moving, right? So probably around here we want him to move. Okay. Okay. So let's say we want him to move this much. Then I believe we go to the second one. So again, my camera here, I chose just a normal 35 mil, right? 35 mil focal length. You can choose what you need with the camera. You can, on the next shot, you could choose another shot if you like another FOV. So let's go to the second shot, to the second camera. And we need another text, obviously. So you can copy paste this one. You can duplicate it actually, but you need to duplicate special. So if you select the text, if you don't want to redo all those settings, choose duplicate special options. What you need to do by default, you have this, you have copy, parent, and world. So you need to change this one, duplicate input graph, because if you don't use this, you won't be able to edit the text on the new object. Okay, and use this one as well. It's better. You can choose group under world, so this way it doesn't go under the same camera one. Okay, so world, duplicate input graph, and assign unique names. So now what do we get? If we go back to, where is it? I just want to double check if this worked. I need to go back to, where's my camera on? Okay, that changes the name of the camera and the panels. So if you lose sight of your camera name, see it says here camera 1, but in the panel it says camera shape 1, which is, I don't know why it's showing up like this. Maybe because we linked the type 1 mesh. So this is camera 1 now. So if I choose the text, the second text I duplicated, and I go and type, and I try to camera close-up of night training. Doesn't change the first one, see? That's why, because we put those options, the duplicate options, the duplicate input. We need it. If you don't, you're probably going to be changing the text from the first one. So I'll finish the text, camera close-up of night training, and at the end we see a particle forming a, let's say, a portal particle forming. If you remember, what I did was I was trying to do, let's look at the, if you remember, my idea was that the portal forms in the background, then we switch to the third cam. Let me see. Yeah. It's a little bit dark. That's okay. You still can still see. So in here, my idea was the portal starts forming here, so you need to add that information because without it, I'm not going to be able to give you feedback on the layout if it's working or not. Okay. Okay, so we can link this to camera 2. I believe middle mouse. So now if we switch to camera 2, yeah, it changes this. Weird. See, it moves with it. It's a little bit offset, so we just need to put it in the right place. Okay. So can hide this now to get a bit more space. Press and hold V and just snap it to the cam. We can move it in on screen. Maybe take the rotation of this -53. Oh, weird. Okay, never mind. It's okay, you can eyeball it. Alright, so it's 0. And then we can position it. We're probably going to need another line because we'll go back in attribute, type, training. So you can either scale it down or move it backwards a little bit so you can see what's going on. See, that's a nice advantage of it. Being a 3D object, you can move it around in the scene, right? So I believe he was moving a little bit further. Let's check the other video. I forgot what I did. Oh no, he's okay. He's beside after the pillars, so he's good. He's good. All right. Camera close-up of night training. At the end, we see a portal forming in the back. Now we're ready for camera. Again, if you guys want to change the, so this is the 3D layout is where you put your cameras. You determine your close-up or medium shot or long shot, right? So if you want to play, this is the time to play with the focal length with the FOV. So if you decide we want to do a close-up shot, this is the time to do it. Change the focal length and reposition the camera to fit your characters on screen. Okay. I'll be super simple with mine because it's only 400 frames, like a few seconds long, 7 seconds, I think. And but this is the time you guys need to work with the cameras. The 3D layout is very camera specific. Okay, the characters and the environment is secondary. They still have to be there, but you need to work on the cameras. It has to be kind of 90% final, the cameras, to go to the next step and do animation, add animation. Okay, so we can duplicate this one, and let's switch to camera 3. So our ninja is appearing on the third shot. We again duplicate special option. If you lost those settings, let's say Maya closed or something, world, duplicate input path, assign unique names, duplicate special. What do we want here? We want to say camera close-up of ninja spawning or appearing. He walks in and draws katana. So where's our third camera? Right here. V. We can parent it. Close this to get a bit more space. It's okay, you can eyeball it, it doesn't have to be perfect as long as I can read what's going on the screen. Okay. Oh, I made a mistake. He walks in, not he walk in. Good grammar. He walks in and draws katana. Ready to fight. It's gonna go over. Ready to fight. So we can move it back a little bit. It's fine. Because I want to see the text, but I want to see the framing and the composition. Okay. Okay, so now we have the text and the all the camera shots, right? I believe the last one was just a still shot, right? Oh, the sword is animated. I believe with the locators, right? No, I think. Reveal selected. Yeah, there's a couple of constraints, right? Channel box. Yeah. So we'll just delete this. I believe it's clear. I thought there was a clear option. I guess not. Anyways, we can just delete those keys, and now the sword should stay. Yeah. So I just deleted the constraint. If you remember, it was on his back, and then we key it to be on in his hand, the locator. So I just deleted the key of the constraint switch. So now it's always on his back. What we need to do, I forgot, is to move the knight. Sorry, the ninja. So we forgot to move him on this shot, right? So I believe I think it was about 270 or 280, right? Oh, closer to 300. So let's say around here, he kind of starts moving, and then he stops and draws the sword. Okay, so we'll key this here, and then he will just make him move forward a little bit. And then he stops and draws the sword. Okay. A little fast for a walk, so we can move the keys just to get a better feeling of the walk. All right. That feels better. Okay, so I believe now we can see what the camera sequencer is looking at. I forgot how to do that. Camera tools. We'll leave through here maybe. Okay, so as soon as you, that was easy. So as soon as you play with the controls in the camera sequencer, right, the controls are here. When you in the camera sequencer, it switches to that view. Okay. I hate this cutoff, so always maybe use the two viewports so you can see what the framing is. Make sure you have this one on, right? Put the mask on, resolution gate, keep it on, and this one, I don't know what this is. Film gate, I don't know, just don't use the film gate, use this one. Use these two. Grid doesn't really matter. Okay, so 1920, and then start playing the sequence. After you set up, obviously you know how to do that, and from the camera the tutorial assignment, you create your shots and don't play with the bottom numbers. Play with the top numbers. So if you want to extend this shot, play with these numbers like this. Okay. The bottom numbers are evil. Don't use them, because first they will mess up the percentage, and then when you want to bake, it will give you problems. So only play with the top numbers. Okay, that's not too bad. Can pause. If you put on, please render with texture, so I can see that you have texture. I have a problem with him. I don't know why. I think because I moved everything to D, I forgot to relink the textures. So you need to have textures, please. One small note that few people were doing. Please do not scale your cameras. If you want a bigger representation of the camera, let's say it's too small, you don't you want to select it often or something, do not scale it. This will give you problems in the camera sequencer. So use this one. Sorry, just select it. If you don't have all the information in the channel box, it's probably because you selected the text as well. So use this one, locator scale. Do not use the other one, the normal scale. See, you can go up to whatever size you want, because this does not affect the scale. That's pretty much it, honestly. So now we can render this. What I need from you is a render of this, the environment, all the characters in like some kind of pose, the text, and the final cameras, the final cutting. Okay, so you can render from here. Play blast. Let's try this one. I haven't tried it, so it'll be a good experiment. Play blast sequence. That's cool. Lucas, Maya, create a folder called renders and call it week 9, my name. Layout. Oh. So this is the folder and this is the name of the file. You could choose QuickTime. If you have QuickTime installed, choose QuickTime. If you don't get the option, just install QuickTime, restart Maya, and you'll have QuickTime. So this way you don't have to reconvert it, because I don't want you to upload an AVI anymore. It's gonna be too big. Resolution, go with the 1920. Oops. 1920 by 1080. And let's quality go high. QuickTime H.264. Let's give that a shot. If you have dialogue in your scene, it's better if you put it here, because you're gonna get the good timing of the dialogue as well. So I'll mention that in the Moodle information. So environment, all the characters, 90% final cameras, and audio if you have dialogue. It will help obviously with and the text. So 5 things. was that a little bit fast? Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Did I animate it by mistake? I might have animated it a little bit. That's okay. It's fine. You get the idea. Camera close of ninja appearing. He walks in, draws the skull, ready to fight. Cool. That's it. So please, again, I can't stress this enough. Write your one-pager, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Send it to me for feedback. If you don't have time, write it and then start the 3D layout. Okay, and watch this video. It's really cool. What the heck is a CG layout? And look at the information here: how to develop a character, how to develop a story, and start from that. Cool. All right, guys. See you in class.